Let's open the doors stronger together. My name's Jessica Conneely. I'm a prior professional dancer and arts and health facilitator in relation to movement programs for older adults. I am founder and director of dance for Wellbeing. There's a few things that led up to me becoming involved in this work around older adults, because prior to that I was a professional performer, dancer, but also dance and education and educator. The dance industry's changed a lot. All the programs you watch on TV, it's gone very athletic and a very tricks and circus-like, and it's very competitive. And I just sort of went, oh, where's the artistry? And I just felt so good dancing, and it really was in my generation about artistry and expressing yourself along with technique, of course. But I felt that was missing. But I came across the Arts Health Institute, and I had not heard of this organisation at all. I realised they had an office in Newcastle where I was at the time and one in Sydney. I had a look at what they do and just went, wow, that's amazing. I cannot believe I found this. It's like gold. So I basically cold called them and said, I noticed you don't have any movement or dance artists. Would you be interested in, having a discussion about that? I joined them, had to do a little audition and all of that. It was fun. But then realizing, oh, okay, so I need to retrain my brain to older bodies and how I can use my skills and connect with meaningful engagement to older people. And how can I do that with safety, movement, music, and all of those things. Being an educator, I realised I'm not really educated enough to go straight in and start delivering programs. I need to really think about what I do. So that led on a huge, long journey of about 5-6 years of looking at best practice in programs in the UK, the US. I learned to write grants and get myself money to get over there and visiting and asking lots of questions and retraining. That was along the lines of dance and dementia, general aged care, what they do in aged care, how to connect with elders, along with the Arts Health Institute training. I then found Dance for Parkinson's Australia. I'm now co-director of Dance for Parkinson's Australia because I felt through the training, I just immersed myself and just saw, firsthand the change in people with a, degenerative disease. There is no cure. We can bring these people joy with a weekly class or twice weekly class. Both with Parkinson's and dementia, music can uplift and create obviously reminiscence if there's a connection there. I have this realization that distraction for the brain is a huge help, especially when it's joyous, of course, but a huge help, and music just all encompasses that. So I think with music, it changes people's perspective of their environment, who they're with, and that sound. This immersion in sound that's beautiful or has some joy, that really makes a change in people. So mood is a big change that I've seen firsthand. Suddenly they start to sing if it's a song they know. And then thirdly, I would say movement itself. Sometimes I've got a big sort of functional aspect to what I do because, especially for people living with dementia, without it being too twee, or you've got to be clever with it, you sort of integrate functional movements that we would do every day, gestures, into a bit of a storytelling way through movement. So we tell stories with movement, and that might be in relation to the lyrics to a song. It could be a hobby or something that they love, that you've asked them what was your favourite thing to do at home when you're at home on the weekend. They might say gardening. So then we come up with their favourite flowers. How do flowers open? Can we use those movements? Gardening, digging, all those things. So you can infuse that into a long session, not do that the whole time, but you can drop in little fun things or things they relate to. So the movement itself, I've found people come alive with as well. Things like I've seen some gentlemen that loved bowling, non-verbal, had dementia, quite, late into his diagnosis. Soon as we did the action of swinging a ball, his face lit up. And I think he even said at one stage, one of the carers said he wouldn't stop saying bowling for the rest of the afternoon. And the possibilities are endless because I think dance, as I've spoken with quite a few researchers recently, because I'm involved in stroke, community stroke programs, as well as Parkinson's, but the fact that people can access different types of multimodal dance because you've got sound, you've got movement, you've got voice, you can use all these different things. It sort of sits at the top above exercise, if you like, because exercise is repetitive. There's no kind of joy in it. But if you add music and add the layers, suddenly in a group setting or one-on-one, which is both are fantastic, you have all these different options that can sort of serve expression. It's gold when it comes to connecting people and having that meaningful. And the language barrier disappears because you can have a conversation in movement, and that is so inclusive with diverse cultures that there's no need for that. So if someone is nonverbal, you can still have a little conversation with them. I feel like I've got a slightly different take through that arts in health training that I received very early because of that expressive, almost mime. With all the artists that I used to shadow, everybody had something beautiful to give that was very unique. And I learned off all of them. So I think to be expressive and engaging is really important to train in the area that I work in, because if you go in and just think, oh yeah, let's just do a dance session and put the music on for, I say this all the time to a lot of people that want to train. I said, it's not as easy as just doing a training and going in and delivering. It's years and years and years of layers of learning how to connect with different personalities, different chronic conditions. You've got to do your groundwork, and thus that my whole sort of 6-7 years of learning, and I'm still learning. And as a result, so Dance for Wellbeing now offers digital programs, Dance for Parkinson's, Moving Well mobility programs in the community. We do aged care programs, 2 different ones. One is for general residents and the others are for people living with dementia, because you have to separate the two, because you can lead people, but we invite them to dance in sessions with people with dementia. You can do so many things, even with, your lovely elders that may be in the bucket chairs in aged care. They can still perhaps use their hands. So I would often, try and do little hand dances. We do little things, or give them a prop and try and sort of, and just be creative and imaginative with that. So so cut a long story short, here I am right now. I've just recently moved to inner New South Wales, but I'm now writing more grants furiously to get seed funding to visit all the aged care homes in my area and see if I can face-to-face give them a lovely session. And because it's regional remote, I won't be able, obviously, to get to everyone. There's not many people around here like me. So I go, right, what can I do? Let's do a tour, a regional tour. I'll go in, give them a big session, hopefully have a cup of tea with staff, and then invite them into the online program. So it's kind of gathering people in to meet, greet online, but I know it's not the best option. Face-to-face is always the best, but in regional remote, this is the way healthcare is going, telehealth and so on. Thank you for having me today and all your time and efforts in going into this. I think it's a fantastic thing in general, and hopefully more people will join. So thank you.